On an ordinary day in July, a little girl named Lily was playing outside with her golden retriever named Luna. Suddenly, her mom called her inside because she had something to show her. "Look what I found," she said, and sitting in front of them were 4 tiny puppies. The mother dog had given birth. She had been in labor for more than 24 hours, but finally everything went well, and all 4 puppies were healthy. As you can imagine, Lily's joy knew no bounds. Every time she visited her mother's belly, she was asking for a puppy, and now she could finally play with them. For the first few days, she would spend hours by the doghouse, just watching over the puppies. Their father was a purebred golden retriever, and therefore it was easy to predict how they would look when they grew up. All 4 puppies were girls, and from the moment they were born, they showed their mother's affection towards their owner. Since the first day they were born, one of the puppies did not seem quite right. She was always smaller than her siblings and didn't gain weight like them. But the thing that worried the family the most was her eyes. They hadn't opened since she was born, and even after 2 weeks, they remained cloudy and grey. When they took her to the vet, he told them that unfortunately, this puppy wouldn't make it. Her condition was too serious. It was a rare genetic disorder that affected her optic nerves. Her eyes would never open again, and there was nothing anyone could do about it. When they returned home, the family discussed what to do with the puppy. To be honest, no one wanted to part with her, but they also couldn't watch her suffer, so they decided to give her all the love she needed during the time she had left. A month passed, and although the puppy didn't get any better, she got used to being around her family. Lily played with her and talked to her for hours. She carried her everywhere and sang to her, so she would feel loved until her last moments. Even though she couldn't see, she seemed happy, or at least peaceful. One afternoon, while playing with the other puppies, the sick puppy began to convulse. Lily immediately called her mom, and together they went to comfort the puppy. At that moment, she stopped breathing. One of the things that made this story unique was that the sick puppy refused to separate from her mother until her last breath. From the first moment she was born, Luna was very protective of her puppies, and the fact that one of them needed extra care didn't change anything. She spent all her time licking and cleaning her puppies, especially the sickest one, and that's why it was so sad that the puppy died in her mother's paws. At first, Lily didn't want to believe that her puppy had really died. She still felt her body temperature and called her name so she would respond, but she didn't move or react as she had done before. Lily cried and stayed quiet for a long time. She missed her friend. She asked her mom if it was normal for dogs to die. She couldn't understand why her puppy had been taken away from her. "I know it's hard for you, my love," her mom said, "but you have to be strong. Dogs live between 10 and 13 years. Your puppy was only a few months old, so she lived a lot longer than she would have if she had stayed with us." Although it hurt her heart, Lily knew her mom was right. The puppy had already lived longer than she would have if she had been born sick. Now she could rest in peace. Even though it was painful for the family to say goodbye to the puppy, they were grateful for the time they had spent with her. Luna, her mother, always felt the pain of losing one of her puppies more than the others, and although she acted strong in front of the rest of the pack, secretly she felt deep sadness. The 3 healthy puppies continued to grow happily, and soon they were ready to leave the doghouse and start exploring the world. They played with Lily for hours, running around the house and backyard. They had a wonderful life, full of joy and happiness. Luna enjoyed watching her puppies play. However, she always remembered the puppy who had died and couldn't help but miss her. One night, while the family was sleeping, she went out to the garden, dug a hole, and buried something. Then she came back inside, climbed onto her bed, and lay down next to her puppies. Looking at them, she felt happy, but also very nostalgic. She looked at each of them one by one and licked them as a sign of love. In the morning, Lily noticed that one of her puppies was missing. She couldn't find her anywhere. She looked under the beds, in the closets, and even in the baskets where her puppies usually hid. But she wasn't there. "Mom, where is she?" she asked. Her mom thought for a moment. "She probably went to play in the garden. She's a puppy and needs to relieve herself." When Lily heard this, she ran to the door. "Can I go with you? I want to play with her too," she said. Her mom nodded, and both of them went outside. In the backyard, Lily saw something that she couldn't believe. The missing puppy was in the middle of the garden, wagging her tail. She was very happy to see her and hugged her. But when she turned around, she saw something that shocked her. Her mother had dug a hole in the middle of the garden and had put the puppy near it. At that moment, Lily understood what had happened. The puppy had died. Although it had been almost a year since she had died, her mother still hadn't forgotten her and had gone to bury her again. At that moment, Lily felt infinite love for her dog. She couldn't believe that even after so much time, she hadn't forgotten her. That same day, Lily asked her parents if they could build a monument for her puppy. They agreed, and together they built a beautiful monument in the middle of the garden. Years went by, and the 3 puppies grew up to be beautiful dogs. But they always remembered their sister. Every time they played, they remembered that there was one less dog to play with. Although they were happy because she was no longer suffering, they missed her. Luna, her mother, also missed her every day. But she was happy knowing that she was resting in peace in the beautiful garden of her house. Now, when the family looks at the grave of the puppy, they remember all the love she gave them in the short time she was with them. They will never forget her, and neither will her mother. This story reminds us that every living being deserves to be loved, no matter how little time we have to enjoy it. Life is unpredictable, and every day we have to face situations that cause us great pain. In this case, the death of a pet, whether it's a cat, a dog, or any other animal, is always difficult to deal with. Pets are part of our family, and when one of them leaves us, it feels like we've lost a member of our own family. In these situations, it's important to remember that we're not alone and that there is always someone who understands what we're going through. In this story, the family was able to find comfort in each other's company and in the memories they shared with their puppy. In addition, they were able to honor the memory of their beloved pet by burying her in their garden and building a monument in her honor. It's also important to remember that animals have a limited lifespan compared to humans, and we should be grateful for every moment we get to spend with them. No one knows how long we'll have with our pets, and we should make the most of every day. Finally, this story reminds us that love has no limits. The love between a mother and her puppies is one of the most powerful and unconditional in the animal kingdom. And in this case, it was also present between the dog and her human family. The dog was able to form a bond of love and affection with her family, and they reciprocated that love. And even after her death, the family continued to love her and remember her fondly.